is Wednesday, August 16th. What a beautiful day outside. If you haven't been out yet, right after the show, get outside and get some of that good sun. But first, we have Lisa Francisco with us this morning, and she is a physical therapist. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
How nice to have you with us.
It's nice to have you too.
Physical therapy.
Yes.
To set the stage, where do you operate?
I work in the Hunters Crossing Outpatient Rehab Department, as well as Garden Ridge.
Oh, you have kind of two offices.
Yes.
In a way.
In a way.
Yeah.
And I'm also, I'm a physical therapist assistant, so it's basically a 2-year program that I get licensed in the state of Virginia.
I'm going to say something that I cannot back up, but I truly believe that it is true. I feel that living at Green Spring adds years to your life because of the environment. And I believe that physical therapy is a very important part of that. Do you agree?
I agree. The residents who we see in rehab, have that same opinion as well. The people who come here, they enjoy, what Green Spring has to offer. And it takes a lot of stress off of their life as well, from what they tell me. And I agree. I mean, it keeps them active. And in order to stay active, you have to have the strength in your muscles. You have to have the endurance in your muscles, as well as balance. Mm-hmm. And if any of those parts are lacking or weaker, that's where physical therapy can come in and help improve that. We can, create an individualized exercise program to help improve your strength and endurance, and then work especially with balance as well. And then at the end of your program, we can recommend follow-up to the fitness center, where we generate a fitness referral for you. We also can recommend other balance classes that they have to offer here in Green Spring, which would be appropriate and motivating to residents. So, the only thing I probably would recommend is follow up with your doctor in Green Spring. See if it's clear, if you're clear to start an exercise program. And then from there, they can generate a physical therapy referral, and then we can do an evaluation to assess, certain aspects of weakness in the muscles, what we can work on, if there's any balance issues, and then go from there.
Okay, let's come up with an example.
Okay.
I have just spent 3 days in a hospital, mm-hmm. and I'm sent over to Garden Ridge, and part of my Garden Ridge stay is physical therapy. Mm-hmm. That is in Garden Ridge.
Right.
So take me from the Garden Ridge physical therapy area to the Hunters Crossing physical therapy area. What occurs?
So when you're in Garden Ridge, you're being provided skilled service, where if the doctors, the doctors will order physical therapy, the evaluating physical therapist will come to your room, do a full, thorough evaluation to determine, how your strength is, how your mobility is, mm-hmm. What the goal is in regards to, if you're safe and appropriate to go home, back to independent living.
Okay.
Okay, they'll just start discussing discharge plans. What did you used to do? What things would you like to do upon discharge from physical therapy? And then from there, they'll create a program, and we'll focus and goals and focus on, achieving those goals. Once you're safe and you've achieved those goals, then if your evaluating therapists feel that you need continued therapy and are appropriate for outpatient physical therapy, they'll generate a referral. The doctor will sign it, and then we'll receive it. Once you go home, we'll either call you, but there are times where we even set up your evaluation time and date while you're still in Garden Ridge. So it depends on, minimizing the time between from Garden Ridge to home. We don't want that lag time. We want to kind of take advantage of a smooth transition from Garden Ridge to outpatient. And then from there, when you've received your schedule, you come down to Hunter's Crossing outpatient, fill out the necessary paperwork, and then a thorough evaluation at outpatient will be performed. And then we'll set up a program and go from there.
But while I'm still in Garden Ridge, there is PT,
Yes.
physical therapist, right down the hallway.
Yes.
What specific maneuvers, motions am I put through?
Well, you depending on how well your strength is,
Okay.
we'll incorporate weights to help improve your strength. We do we assess, if you need a device for balance to allow you to be mobile, we'll assess that and kind of progress you towards that. As well, and then after that, we will work on the balance. So it's an all-over body experience there.
One of the maneuvers that I specifically remember was one of your physical therapists, RJ, had me pick up some cones, as I recall, which were set spaced apart on a rail, and I had to pick these up, hand it to him, pick them up. Now, what was I showing him? What dexterity I had, or what was it? Balance?
Balance,
Okay.
working on multitask, because if he had you walking, then you would also work on your ability of walking, improving your step patterns, working, like I said, multitasking, where you have to be distracted to reach a cone, switch it to your
I'm
hand. So working on balance too. So walking,
and
balance,
picking up the cone.
and endurance too, and standing, because you have to be able to stand for a certain amount of time in order to complete a task. If you're going from one distance to another, you have to have that endurance and balance and strength in order to achieve those goals.
What must I do to progress from PT at Garden Ridge over to PT at Hunter's Crossing?
Well,
And who refers me?
your evaluating therapist will generate the referral.
Okay.
And then from there, the doctor will sign it. And from there, then we will receive it
Oh, okay.
over at outpatient. And if you haven't had a schedule already set up for outpatient, then our tech, Catherine, will call you to set up an appointment for an evaluation.
Another question I have. Does your office provide physical therapists to come to an apartment?
No,
Not at all.
no. For any resident who is unable to come to outpatient over at Hunter's Crossing, we do have a service called home health, where the therapist will come to your home, provide you physical therapy there, and kind of build you up from there. Once you've achieved their goals, and they feel that you're not more homebound, then they'll refer you to
Okay.
outpatient.
So that's not part of your
No,
responsibility, if
correct,
you
correct.
will. Okay, and you are not part of home health.
No,
Okay, you are.
I'm more over at Hunter's Crossing in the outpatient. department.
The final act, if you will, of this individual who is being evaluated, is there a team of physical therapists that puts their head together and says, this guy Bob Zykowitz seems to be, he's ready to go back to his apartment. Is there a team such as that?
Yes, it's called an interdisciplinary team comprised of the rehab department, comprised of the medical team, the doctor, the nurse practitioner, and the nurses.
Okay.
So with that interdisciplinary team, we determine and assess how well you're doing and whether you're appropriate to go home and transition from Garden Ridge.
Well, I think we are getting down to our last minute. It has been a joy having you with us.
Thank you.
Because you have given us some good information for all of us to remember. And if we ever get over to Garden Ridge and ultimately Hunter's Crossing. Lisa, thank you for being with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a joy.
Thank you.
And now we do have a lead-in, if you will.